the harbour. Those fish you might sink her or moor in. They moved her into number 2 dry dock, but you see her there today. And she was eventually opened up to the public for the very first time in 1920. Just behind the aircraft carrier, on your right, we have the Kingstairs jetty. It's here that Foster Crab dived in the water. It was the 1956. Never to be seen again. We now know he's working for MI6, following on a Soviet cruiser.
Yeah, so there we have
Fishby still surrounds
the aircraft carrier that carries.
So we do have both the aircraft carriers in Portsmouth. The first one is HMS Prince of Wales, ahead of our HMS Queen Elizabeth. Built to the cost of £3.1 million each. There's 70,000 tonnes, 280 metres in length, 39 metres across. There's 11 metres of them under the water from the flight deck down. They've actually got 9 decks. Propelled by 2 Rolls-Royce MT-30 turbines, producing some 48,000 horsepower. A top speed of 26 knots with a range of 10,000 miles.
Hi.
And they're carrying the new F-35 Lightning Strike multi-role fighter planes, built in America at a cost of £100 million each. Helicopters that carry Chinooks, Apaches, Bernards and Wildcats. Now depends on what they're sent out to sea to do, depending on what aircraft they actually take with them. There's 2 large lifts to get the aircraft from the hangar below up to the very large air deck. On the air deck are 2 accommodation blocks. The rear one, flight control. It's fully control all the landings and takeoffs from the navigating block, but they do the navigating and the driving. On both aircraft carriers you will find the 679 crew. They can carry a maximum of 1,600 persons.
Museums, then we will be using the lights, so thank you.
With a grey dome roof. This is home to the Merry Rose, the Henry VIII's flagship. 19th of July, 45 she sets out from Port.
We just found out that the aircraft carrier over there, Queen Elizabeth, and it's the oldest aircraft carrier in the world, I think.
The grey board, the Spikes, which is the Samsung radar, latest in radar technology, can detect and track some 2,005 objects at any one time. On the back deck, the Ivan carrier Merlin
is like the building where they storage missiles, and then this is.
Now looking at the middle of the Duncan, you will see
This is
a
a
Phalanx
warship.
with grey
It's
dome
not
on it.
an
They've got one either
aircraft
side.
carrier, as you can
Phalanx
see. It's
fires
a
3,500 rounds a minute
like
over a
helicopters
range
and
of
planes,
1,500
jets.
metres.
So yeah.
Incoming targets such as missiles
one's
or
only
planes,
for,
it will automatically
like,
lock onto the closest. It will
It's
fire,
pretty
continue
much
firing,
over
so that
in that
target's
box
being
over there. We
destroyed,
have
automatically move on
missiles
to the next.
and planes that lock onto
In
the
front of Duncan, tidal basin. In there today, you'll see the front of P282, which is HMS 7. She's one of our batch 1 river class patrol vessels. We've got 3 of those, the 7th Mercy at the time. Now, the Port of Portsmouth has been a naval dockyard for well over 500 years. As we go on our tour, you will be looking around 3 miles of continuous naval quay. Quay on your right, you'll probably see some of the black gates. They've got the yellow handrails from the tops. These gates act as corridors and lead to number 3 basin directly behind, which is a 60-acre pond dug out by hand by prisoners of war back in the 1860s and 1870s. They can also use these corridors as dry docks if required. Next on your right we have F-78, which is HMS Kent, and she's one of our Duke class Type 23 frigates. We've got 11 of these ships. They're 4,500 tons, 133 metres in length, 15 metres across. Top speed of 28 knots. Now again on the bow there, the Vickers gun, firing some 25 rounds a minute. Directly behind that, the launching stations for the Harpoon and Seahawk missile systems, 2 different systems on these ships. There's 2 30mm guns, one either side of the funnel. You'll see it just in front of the crash boat coming up. Again on the back deck, either carrier Merlin or Wildcat helicopter. They have a crew of 173. Looking above the number, F-78, just these bridge wings, you'll see a small deck. On that small deck, the 2 rear-facing torpedo tubes to inset either side of the Stingray torpedoes. Now you'll also notice the superstructure, the top bits, are actually built with 3 separate blocks. There is a reason for this. Southampton Lake. Looking across the Key on your right, you'll see D35, which is HMS Dragon. She's another one of our Type 45 destroyers, a bit scruffy at this moment. Going to refit, but they are slowly putting them back together now. And as we move along Fountain Lake, if you're on the top deck here, tide is a wee bit low. If you look across the Key on your right here, you should get some views at number 3 basin.
Yep,
The basin that is dug out by hand by the prisoners of war. They actually used some 2,000 convicts and around 1,200 paid labourers to dig that pond out. Actually 5.7 metres deep over there, all dug out by hand. Now looking ahead on your right and across the Keywall there, you'll see H88 in the distance, which is HMS Echo. To the right of her is H87, HMS Enterprise, 2 identical ships, 2 identical hydrographic survey vessels. And to the right of them, the one more that's scattering around the mast, that is D32, which is HMS Daring, and she's another one of our Type 45 destroyers.
This is just an old.
And also coming up on your right here, you will see the Wave Knight. Now she belongs to the Royal Fleet Auxiliary. This means the vessel is actually owned by the Royal Navy, but run by merchant seamen. This is one of their tankers. This one's 31,000 tonnes, 196 metres in length, and she's got a crew of 18 on board.
Push them the way. Oh no, sorry. So here we have 2.
So this is the end of the Royal Naval Dockyard on your right. We're just about to do our turn. As we do so, ahead of us, soon on your right is the commercial port. These 2 Keywalls ahead of us. They mainly deal with fruit, and fruit from all around the world arrives here. Geese, they bananas. In fact, 60% of all bananas eaten in the UK arrive here in Portsmouth. Continuing our turn, you'll see our ferry port. This is opened in 1976. 5 boats here in total. Makes it one of the busiest ferry ports in the UK today. In fact, it's second to Dover. Now, we also play host to small and medium-sized cruise ships, such as the Spirit of Adventure you see on your right here. She's one of the Saga Cruise ships. 599 passengers. He's got some 540 crew working on board. You also see the tanker there, the Wintonia. She's one of the winter bunker barges come down from the commercial port of Southampton. Fuel the ferries as they come in and out of the port. And number 4 linkspan, you'll see the Brittany ferry, the Mont Saint Michel. She's only just arrived. They're probably still driving the vehicles off the back, but she's only just arrived. She'll be doing a quick turnaround this one. It's leaving about 3 o'clock, and when she goes, she'll be back off to Car. Brittany ferries actually started up by a consortium of French farmers. They're so irate at the cost of exporting their goods to Britain. They start their own ferry company and just route from there. Now ferries that leave from this port go across to Sherwood, Channel Islands, and also down to Spain. On a good year, the ferry port will deal with around 2.2 million passengers and around 660,000 vehicles.
The foundation was dug up 5 metres now, all by hand. So that was the end of the Royal Navy dockyard.
As we clear the ferry port, sorry looking warship on your right was the 82 HMS Bristol, which was launched in 1969. It was for the time. Service during the Falklands crisis, eventually decommissioned in 1991. Recommissioned in 1993 as a static training ship. This is where she's been ever since. Now she has now come to the end of her day. She is very old. It's looking more likely she's going off to be scrapped. The other side of Bristol is what's known as Whale Island, the great extension of Portsmouth docks on your left here, back in the 1860s and 70s. A hell of a lot of mud happening too. This is where they put it, over on your right, actually on this island. Was home to HMS Excellent, the Royal Naval Gunnery School for many years, now a training centre for the Royal Navy, Marines and Sea Cadets. Sea Cadets have a very good time when they come to train here at Whale Island. Actually bring them out on the water here, they teach them how to row, they teach them how to sail. They also teach them how to drive a small motorboat, and then take them back ashore and teach them how to swim. Now as we clear Whale Island, keep looking to your right. Right over the other side of the harbour, to the left of the big grey shed, you'll see Portchester Castle on the shoreline, built in the year 284 AD by the Romans, rebuilt by the Normans at a later date. Between us and the castle, there's actually some fitted one or two fences facing to the south out to sea, and none facing to the north. So, yeah, these also on top of that hill to the right, you see the grey structure up there. As we make our way back down through Portsmouth Harbour, we've got a bit of ground plate on the warships, so you will get a better view of their ships there overall. Time of HMS Careful to your left here, a better view of HMS 7 in the tidal basin, and D37 HMS Duncan. HMS Duncan, named after an Admiral Duncan, in Dundee in 1721. Served the Royal Navy for 54 years and was famous for being a Duncan. Admiral Duncan died in 18.
Jetty on your right. This one's called the oil fuel jetty. As seen at the various Royal Fleet Auxiliary tankers come to load their various oils and fuels. Keep the Royal Navy on the go today. During the Falklands War back in 1982, the majority of oil and fuel that produced by the ships down there actually left for this ship. Over on your left, you'll get some good views of HMS Warrior alongside her pier. She was launched 29th December 1860 up at Blackpool, London. It just happened to be the coldest day in Britain for over 50 years, and she froze to the slip. Braziers were around the bottom of the ship, and extra tons of hydraulic rams. And literally ended up over 100 men were top deck, from side to side, fighting for free. After 20 minutes, she gave up and slid down to the river. Steam engine on board, also built in London, up in Greenwich, just over 5 garrison horsepower. When she was in service, she had a crew of 704 on board, including 66 stokers working in heats of around 43 degrees. transport marina, as you can see, home to a rail